Howdy folks, I'm Terrible Troll, terrifyingly taunting timid tots.
I'm Amber.
And here are more timid tots for us to taunt, and we're the kind of troll dolls. We're troll dolls, not trolls like from the mythology. In fact, I'm one of the trolls that have like the gems in their stomachs, the treasure trolls. So if you've seen those, you would understand why I'm intimidating tots. So yeah, let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Going Behind My Neighbor's Back to the Landlord About Renting Their Place? For 7 years, I've been renting the first floor of a 2-story house for my business, and it isn't going really well. Now I need to expand the business, and the obvious choice is to start renting the second floor. The only problem is that it's already leased to a couple who arrived more or less at the same time as me. The relationship with them over the years has been really good. It's not like we're really friends, but we chat every once in a while and support each other when possible. So this made everything so much more complicated. I waited for some months, hoping that they would move out on their own, but I soon realized that that day may never come. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I basically had two options. Talk with them first and let them know of my intentions and maybe negotiate something, or talk with the landlord directly and negotiate with her. It wasn't an easy choice, and I had to really think hard on it. I ended up choosing to talk with the landlord. I let her know that I was interested in renting upstairs, and she actually offered me the place at a higher price, of course, and I said yes straight away. The higher price wasn't an issue, so in my mind it was all good. I suggested a time frame of 3 months, which I thought would be good enough for the neighbors to prepare to move out. I wasn't sure who would tell them the bad news, if it was me or the landlord, but decided on the landlord since it's her place and she should deliver the news officially. I was nervous and felt super guilty, even though in my mind I wasn't really doing anything wrong. It wasn't personal, it was just business. But, as I've said before, the relationship with them was good, and I knew that this would be very bad news for them, and that they would hate me for it. Well, now here's where it all went wrong. The landlord didn't tell them that they needed to leave. She instead told them that the rent was going to be much higher now because someone else was interested in renting the place for that price. And guess what? They said that they would rather pay than move out, and ended up staying. So now, after all this, I was left with no lease, and my neighbors now have to pay much more than before. So only the landlord ended up winning. I don't know if she used me all along to raise the price, or if she didn't really expect them to pay the higher price, but I still think that she played me dirty. I thought that it was a done deal. Anyways, I wrote to my neighbors. I could only do it after the landlord had talked to them to let them know that it was me who wanted to rent, and I felt super guilty, and that I was sorry, but that I was just doing it for my business, and it was nothing personal. But it didn't matter. They hate me now and don't want to see my face ever again, which is impossible, of course, since we're neighbors. It's going to be super awkward from now on. Am I the jerk for not talking to my neighbors first instead of going through the landlord? Should I have handled this differently? And folks, I actually want to read this one comment here because I think it kind of encapsulates things. And Bunny Small says, You're the jerk. It's a house, not a business premise. You can run your business from anywhere. You're lucky that the landlord let you use part of the house for business in the first place. If your business is doing that well, that you can afford to move to a larger unit. Shaking my head. And OP replies, It's a commercial house. No one should be living there, actually. It's very hard to move out because a lot of equipment and wiring are already set up, and it's not easy to find a place that fills all the requirements that I need. All right, folks, so what do you think of all that?
I mean, OP, I don't understand why you're upset. I mean, the landlord, it was just business. It was nothing personal. I mean, in seriousness, yes, OP, you are a major jerk here. You wanted to screw over your neighbors to benefit yourself, and now you're paying the consequences. Your landlady was just as ruthless as you, and now you get to see what happens when people say, it's not personal, it's just business.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is instant karma in that respect. However, in the interest of the landlord being kind of scummy, so I would take her to small claims court because I do think that the landlord is profiting off of this situation, and like unjustly so in a lot of ways. This was kind of a slimy move for her to make, but I do agree with Amber here where this is like very just dessertsy that he kind of got what he deserved. I just think that he should sue the landlord because, like, the landlord shouldn't be able to get away with this. And as for whether or not OP should have talked to their neighbors or not, I mean, it's always better to talk to your neighbors first, if and try to kind of work something out with them, as opposed to trying to, underhandedly take the property from them, because then it wouldn't have been blindsiding them and just be because OP sounds like they're trying to use this place for business and that this one particular place meets their business requirements. And I can understand them being frustrated that they can't find another place, right, that meets all the requirements. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Wanting to Sleep with My Wife in Our Bedroom While My In-Laws Are Staying Over? So last night, my in-laws came over to stay with us for a week because a family friend's son is getting married and it's close to us and they wanted to stay with us instead of a hotel, and because they miss my wife and want to spend time with us, we were fine with it. My father-in-law sat me down when we were alone and requested that I sleep on the couch just while they're there because he's uncomfortable with me sleeping with his daughter while he's there. He says that he knows that she's my wife and that we've slept together tens of times and that it's my house, but he still is just overprotective of her. And I said that I can't do that because I have back problems and I'm not comfortable with sleeping on the couch, especially not for a whole week. I said that I won't have sex with her while they're there, out of respect, but that I'm going to sleep in my bed regardless. He said that he's still not okay with it and suggested that my mother-in-law could sleep with my wife while I share a bed with him. I was weirded out and I refused. I got angry and I told him that this is my house and not his, and if he doesn't like it, then he should either get a hotel room or sleep on the couch himself. My wife and mother-in-law came to see what was happening, and they had no problem with what he said, and my wife actually told me that I should just do it because it's only for a week, and it's not worth the family drama. So am I the jerk here? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. If your wife doesn't see any problem with it, she can sleep on the couch. I mean, the audacity of this man trying to force OP out of his own bed because I'm not comfortable with this. Well, dude, you can stay somewhere else.
Well, it's kind of creepy of a request to make, too, on top of that. Like, oh, he's overprotective of his daughter? Like, dude, like...
She's a married lady.
She's married to OP here. I mean, this just goes on beyond overprotective and more like a controlling type of behavior, right? So I think, again, OP presented him with a lot of options. If they're not comfortable sleeping in the same house as OP, while OP is sleeping in the same bed as his wife, then they need to go find an Airbnb because that's on them at that point in time. This is an unreasonable request and, quite frankly, a creepy request at that.
It is. Well, and like, notice how while he did like offer to like sleep with OP and have his wife sleep with OP's wife, like it seems like him and his wife sleeping together was like a given and never a question.
I did want to kind of point that out too. I'm glad you brought that up because it's a very one-sided arrangement where it's OP having to make all the sacrifice and everyone else can be just fine with the whole thing, right? So yeah, I just think that it's such an entitled request. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And some ingenuity says, not the jerk. You did everything right. Who the heck thinks that the person hosting them should sleep in a different bed? He needs to accept that his daughter is a married woman and not a child anymore. His difficulty in accepting this is his own problem and he needs to address it, not make it into a problem for someone else. And I also want to point out that even if they weren't married and this was their house and their living arrangements, he would still have no right to make any of these kinds of demands.
Exactly.
And Friend on the Corner says, this may be the real problem. His image of her is that she's a young girl and shouldn't be sleeping with a man. He needs to update his image of her as a grown independent woman with her own husband. This will keep affecting his relationship with you and your wife. So it is better to address it now. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, My husband recently got a huge set of DMs from a woman that I don't know. For some context, I dated her current boyfriend about 10 years ago. It was a short relationship, maybe 10 months, and we have had no contact since. I'm married now, and my Instagram is just normal lifestyle and aesthetic posts. This woman sent my husband a huge rant accusing me of secretly sending signals to her boyfriend through my posts. She claims that my posts are making him spiral, keeping him awake at night, confusing the relationship. Here are some of the things that she said that was hinting about. I posted a sunset photo, and she said that it was because sunsets are meaningful to him. I posted a book, and she said it was because he likes literature and I was trying to connect with him. I shared a coffee photo, and she said it was because he drinks black coffee and I was taunting her. I shared a plant photo, and she messaged my husband saying, Adrian and I are both plant lovers. Your wife is dropping hints that she wants him back. Here's a direct excerpt from an actual message so you can hear how weird it sounds. Your wife is perfectly aware of the pain that she is causing all of us here. Please be kind enough to talk to her. She is dropping hints about wanting Adrian behind your back. It's really unfair. Her posts are making him recall bad memories, and it's one of the reasons that we cannot sleep at night. It goes on for like pages. She even corrected herself mid-message saying Miss instead of Miss when talking about me, just to point out that I'm married. I do not know how to handle this. I have not spoken to this guy in a decade. My Instagram posts are just aesthetic and personal, nothing directed at anyone. Would you ignore and block her completely? Should I reply once and shut it down? Has anyone else dealt with someone projecting their own relationship problems onto you like this? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, this is a very disconcerting situation. I mean, the things OP is posting are very normal things that lots of people like sunsets, plants, books. Those are some of the most popular things to find on Instagram.
This is like reading tea leaves.
Yeah. So I am concerned by how much she seems to be reading into this. I would recommend blocking not just her, but also the ex from seeing OP's page. Hopefully it will clear up on its own, but keep a document of these messages in case she does like try and contact again. You may need to get a restraining order if she keeps this up.
I'm tired of this already, and I'm not even OP. The thing is this, he's a grown man. Why is he following OP?
Yeah, why is he looking at her posts all the time?
Right? And why is he reading into these posts on top of that? Which kind of tells me that he's never gotten over OP, right?
There's one of two things. Either one, he's the one who's doing it and he's still like hasn't gotten over OP and is, making all these complaints to his girlfriend. Or two, she's the one creeping on OP and is reading into things.
Mm-hmm. The thing is this, they can block OP and stop all of this at any point in time, right? They don't have to sit there and follow OP or hear what OP has to say. They have the power to block. So their whole excuse here is moot. And if I had an opinion, I would say that this woman doesn't even exist. It's the boyfriend trying to sow the seeds of discontent in OP's relationship, trying to basically be like, oh, your wife is hinting at me that she wants, to get back together with me, right?
I didn't think of that one, but that is a very interesting angle. Yeah, maybe see if she actually, is there any evidence that she does exist?
Yeah, because, why would she be following OP of all people, right?
Well, if she just is one of those people who is very hung up on her partner's exes and sees them all as a threat, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. So, I don't know. But I do think that OP should certainly find who these people are and block them immediately. And if she does exist, then make sure she's blocked. And if he exists, well, I mean, of course he exists, make sure he's blocked. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Mimo Sable Bloom says, lol, there's no woman. It's the ex acting like anybody else wanted him. And OP replies, oh my goodness, this is one thing that I actually didn't consider. Back when we were dating, he once told me, no one else can love you like I do. Looking back now, I just see the whole experience as something that pushed me to never want to be in that kind of situation again. Well, that's a bit disconcerting. And Virtual Choir Boy says, ignore the messages, block her, and block him. If your husband can't get away from replying, consider something along the lines of, my wife barely remembers whoever it is you're talking about, let alone has any interest in reconnecting. If he's not over my wife, newsflash, it doesn't matter because she's long since moved on from him and is now with me. If her posts bother you so much, block them and never contact us again. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the zombie say to their child?
Oh, I know exactly what the zombie said to the child because I, too, am a zombie parent with zombie children.
This is news to me.
I have many zombie children from my time when I bit people and had the zombie virus, so they were kind of zombified because of me. So that's why I consider them my zombie children, if you will. They're not real children. They're adults who I've infected with the zombie virus. Fortunately, I was cured, and now I just have to spend my life running away from them. Not paying any child support. They said, well, what I said to them was, you've got quite a set of brains there. Brains. Brian's. I don't know.
Remember, it's what's inside a person that counts. And it's National Inner Beauty Day today.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful. And I have licorice spice. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy terrific Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please, have it a little creepy.
Watch out for people who are reading way too much into your Instagram posts.
Yeah, watch out for people who are reading far too much into your Instagram posts. Not everything has a hidden, secret, deeper meaning to it. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!